Today marks the official start of tax season, and we are ready. Joining us now with so much you need to know is Mark Steeber, the Chief Tax Information Officer at Jackson Hewitt Tax Services. Glad to have you here. What are 3 ways to prepare for this tax season?
The first thing I would tell people is to keep it simple. You don't need an elaborate organizational system for your income taxes, but you do need to be organized. The shoebox, the large envelope to collect those current year documents could not be more important, because there's never been more than there is today. 1099s, W-2s, broker statements, virtual currency statements, and the list goes on, and that's not even if you itemize. And there's another whole list of documents there. So keep them all in one location. If you have a significant other, make sure they understand that this is the place to put the documents as they come in. Secondly, find last year's tax information, last year's tax return, last year's files. That's a great roadmap for what to watch for this year. And the third critically important part to each and every tax return, each and every year, not just the documents, not just last year, you need to reflect on your year for life changes. They drive more impact, quite honestly, than tax law changes. Got married, had a child, those are obvious, but the list goes on from starting a side gig to having someone go to higher education, to bought a home, to rental property, and the list goes on.
What are some of the major changes to tax laws?
Tax law changes happen just like the bluebird of spring every year. 2024 saw a few, not a proliferation like you will in 25 and 26, but there's still some things to watch out for. In particular, the new threshold on the 1099K. The 1099K has been around for a lot of years, but this year, if you're getting paid through a third-party platform like Venmo or PayPal or any of the other dozens, each time you go more than $2,500 on that platform and getting paid, you're going to get a 1099K this year telling you that you got that amount of money, and also telling the IRS that you got paid that amount of money. Now, it's supposed to be just for business payments, but a lot of things can get caught in there, from selling sports tickets to even giving your kids gas money if you didn't do it right.
Tell us about the benefits of filing early.
Yeah, filing early has always been kind of those tell me a tax tip, and it's never been more important than now. There's really 3 or 4 reasons to file early. The first reason is 2 out of 3 taxpayers get a tax refund every year, including probably this year. File early, get your money early. No need to wait 3 months to go get your money. Secondly, I hear a lot of people say, oh, I know I'm going to owe. My side hustle was successful. I didn't make estimates like I should. I'm going to owe at tax time. Well, you still want to file early for 2 reasons. One, find out exactly how much you're going to owe. And secondly, more importantly, you don't have to pay until April 15th, even if you file today. You lock up the amount of money that you're going to owe, and then you have your bank account drafted on April 15th, or put it on a credit card or mail in a check, whatever you want to do. And thirdly, more important than the other 2, if you file your taxes early, you lock up your data with the IRS or your state. Your social security number, your significant other, if you have one, your dependents, that data is locked at the IRS. So if somebody has stole your personal information, bought it on the dark web, or just got your copy of your tax return off your company printer last year and try to file a fake tax return, it will reject at the IRS if you have filed a real one in front of them. So file early, get your money. File early to find out what you owe and still don't have to pay, and file early to lock up your data. And continuing our practice at Jackson Hewitt, if you file early with us this year, you're automatically entered into a double your tax refund sweepstakes, where we will double your tax refund. And if you don't get a refund, or it's a small refund, 2 grand prize winners each week for the next part of tax season will get a doubled refund up to $1,500. Even if it was lower than that, more if your refund was higher. So that's automatic. You enter it if you file with us, and those other benefits are just on top of that.
When do people know it's time to start working with a tax pro instead of filing themselves?
Well, taxes are complicated each and every year. I always recommend a tax pro just because there's so many overlooked deductions and overlooked credits. But if you're an adventurous soul and you want to do it yourself, you should still have a tax pro in your contact list to debunk a myth or help you avoid a scam or some schemer out there making false promises. But if your life's complicated, and complicated is a pretty low threshold, changed jobs, new job, moved, started a side hustle, bought a home, got married, had a kid, taking care of your parents, it always makes sense, because those can have big impacts on your tax return and get you a bigger refund. So a tax pro should lower your stress and get you more money and help you navigate the future of tax law changes. It always makes sense this year and every year. All this information and a lot more is right there at your fingertips. You can find offices, you can set up an appointment, or you can get some of your common questions answered. JacksonHewitt.com. It's a great first step.